Well, as New York City's migrant crisis continues, Mayor Adams is now looking to house asylum seekers in public school buildings for the summer. The Post is reporting the Office of Emergency Management has compiled a list of school buildings to temporarily house migrants.
Placing migrants in school gyms received major pushback from parents and local officials back in May when several schools were used as temporary shelters. Now leaders in our area are speaking out against the plan once again. Joining us this morning from Staten Island, the borough president there, Vito Fossella. Nice to have you back on Good Day.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, so what do you know? Yeah, what do you know about this migrant situation in your borough?
Well, the migrant situation is something we've been clamoring about for almost a year because we said about a year ago that this was an unsustainable policy, that you have a combination of federal, state, and city policies that create perverse incentives for anybody around the world to ultimately end up in New York City. Why? Because if they come here, they get to the front of the line, right? We put them up in hotels, we feed them, we give them free medical care, and free education if they want it or need it. So why wouldn't you want to come here? And you have nothing to lose. So those are the reasons why we're dealing with the situation. And now they're talking about these Band-Aid solutions of potentially putting asylum seekers in school buildings during the summer recess.
So, Mr. Borough President, how many schools are on the list on Staten Island, and what are your concerns about that?
We don't know. There's one school that was closed and the children were relocated to a new school that's currently being used. And what we do is we play catch up. We hear rumors, we have to call the city. And in fairness, the mayor's office has been very transparent with us. We have a great relationship with him and his team. So it's not about that. But it's always, hey, we heard a rumor that this school potentially could be used for migrants. Is it true or not? And that's not really a good way to run it. And that's what I mentioned. It's sort of like drinking through a fire hose. People are scrambling around the city looking, and we don't know. The latest rumor was New York High School, which has been around forever. It's the heart of Staten Island. But it's currently under renovation, both inside and out. So I don't even know how logistically it would be possible to have people living in it, not to mention the fact that just, summer goes pretty quickly around here, right, these days, for us older people.
Well,
School's going to
let me ask you a question. Like, we get that the communication could be much better. However, there's about 2 months left of summer vacation. What is the big deal in terms of housing the migrants in these schools that are not being used?
Well, I put it this way. I take a step back and say that the Staten Island residents, Staten Island parents, did not create this problem. It shouldn't be theirs to solve. We need, if you want a solution, we need more immigration officers to process these claims. This could go on for another year, 2 years, indefinitely. We could have 100,000, 200,000 people. The end is nowhere in sight on this problem, which is why the first remarks I had were, this is a combination of bad federal, state, and local policies. Why should we bear the burden of solving this problem? We didn't cause it. These are hardworking taxpayers. We're picking up the tab. It's going to cost billions. And by the way, as my grandmother used to say, money doesn't grow on trees. So if you want a new school, if you want a new park, if you want to pave a new road, that costs money.
Yeah,
and when we
Borough President,
we say we don't have it.
Look, we completely understand that this problem stems from the very top of the administration. However, they are here right now. The problem is, how do you deal with it right now?
I would simply say it's not our problem to solve. If you want a remediation of the problem, then bring in more federal immigration officers to process these claims. Let's remember what these folks are doing. They're coming from 8,000 miles away across a number of countries and saying, we come across the Texas border and say we want asylum. Well, process them. Or let them seek asylum in their own country or a country on the way, for the sake of argument, from Venezuela. These are the things that should be implemented that are not. So as a result, we all have to solve this problem that we didn't cause. And there are fixes in here, but the fix is not just to pass a memo around and say, hey, if you have an extra room in your building, if you have an extra room in your house, let's put them up. I don't think that's our problem to solve.
Well, it's already July. I mean, it's July 7th, right? School starts right just about a few days after Labor Day. And does the city have the money to pay for a cleaning of the school, you know, bring the equipment in there that they need there. I hear, you know, they need cribs and diapers and, you know, food and all this other stuff. And then to clean it all up again at the end of August to get it ready for the school year.
The answer is simple. I don't think so, right? And especially at a case-by-case basis, in this school that was been raised as a possibility, New York High School, is currently under renovation, both inside and out. So can you imagine construction workers showing up and dealing with asylum seekers? And I'm told, and I believe this is to be true, is that students aren't even allowed in the building. So we're going to allow others to potentially come in there. And the summer, typically, there is a summer cleaning session, as you rightly point out, where the school is prepped for the incoming class, for the incoming school year. So on every level, this doesn't make any sense. And I get the fundamental point is what I've said repeatedly, and many of us have said for almost a year, is the policy is unsustainable. And there were those who, what do we do with it? What if the number was 500,000? What if 500,000 people or 750,000? Are we supposed to just say, stay at a hotel, we'll give you everything for nothing? Why wouldn't you come here? You have nothing to lose. The worst case scenario is, at some point in time in the distant future, you go back to your own country. So why wouldn't you make this shot? I am not being critical of the individuals who come here by any stretch. Yes, they're probably doing it in the wrong way, but I understand, you know, as a human being where they're coming from. But we as a city and a state and a country have to figure out what we're doing here, and what we're doing here currently doesn't work.
I know. I feel like you're responding to rumors rather than facts. Is it just because that's what you're dealing with?
That's a very good observation, and it's true. And I said, I want to be very clear. You know, we have a very good relationship with the mayor. I think he's trying his best. This is not about him as an individual or the people around him. They're dealing with a 50,000, 60,000 people showing up on the streets, and they're looking around. I bet you right now they're probably considering 100 places, and I don't know if any of the 100 will actually be used or occupied. So yes, we do deal with rumors on a regular basis, and when we ask and when we make inquiries, we're given honest answers. But we need, as a city, to really come to grips with what the heck is happening here. And what is happening here is not good for Staten Island residents, Staten Island taxpayers, and by and large, the city of New York.
Well, Staten Island Borough President, we appreciate you coming on, Vito Fossella. We did invite the mayor of New York City to come on and discuss his plan, and we hope that he will join us soon.
All right. Vito, thank you so much.
Thank you.